Yesterday I did a video because the England white women's football team, and I have to say white because they were all white, the people that came out on the pitch, and this was the part that was commented on. That's why I'm saying white. It wasn't enough that they'd done well in their football match. The fact that they fielded an entirely white team was unacceptable. And there is a massive problem with not enough BAME community within the England football team. To which I say bollocks, but you want to watch the video and that'll go into it a little bit more. It wasn't a long one. And then my mate got hold of me and she said, Si, what about these other black teams? There's not a single white player in them and nobody says a word. I thought, well, I hadn't thought of that. This is why it's good to listen to your friends. So off I went and the guy that sent me the footage, you know who you are, thank you, about the white girls team, I saw, you got any footage of the, I don't know, the teams over in, I don't know, the black countries? Because I can't remember which one's it, Cameroon or whatever versus, I can't remember anyway, the clip will be playing behind me, I should imagine any minute now. And look, he sent me the clip. I look through this little lineup and there's one person that could be white. I don't know if they are or not. They might be mixed race or whatever you want to call it. But nevertheless, did anybody say anything about that? Did anybody say there's not enough white players in there? Did they? Did they fuck? Everybody was celebrating the fact that these teams from these black countries are doing well and what a celebration it should be, and they're out there striving to do well for their country, and isn't it great? Yeah, it is. And am I bothered there's no white players on their team? No, I couldn't give a fuck. Why would I? They've picked whoever they want for their team, and that's the way it works. But what the point of this video is that you won't see any of the woke community coming out and going, I'm sorry, you need more white people. Because in these countries, white people live there. So it's like, if you look at the percentage of black people, say for instance, that live in the UK, England predominantly we'll talk about here, what percentage does that make up? And then look at what percentage of white people live over in these countries. There has to be at least one white person on their team to keep the woke community happy. But in this case, no. So what am I saying here? I'm saying it's all right for thee, but not for me. Your virtue signalling only goes one way. You won't stand up for us. That is to say that you'll be happy knocking white people all day long through the media, and you love it. I mean, you absolutely wet your pants when you see adverts with a black bloke and a white woman. You love that stuff. You're absolutely wonderful. I don't know how happy you are when you see a black woman with a white man because, well, white man bad, right? But there is definitely a have a go at whitey culture, especially if you're a stale, pale male. And they want to have a go, and we're bad, and, you know, in slavery and all the rest of it. Because let's be fair, if, say for instance, our all-white female team come out and beat a all-black team, oh my God, can you imagine? They'll go absolutely bonkers. It will be racism. It will be, I don't know, what other bollocks oppression rubbish they come up with. They'll hark back to slavery, for fuck's sake. And incidentally, if you're going to hark back to slavery, look into black slaves running, or black slave masters selling black slaves. That'll trigger you a bit. And if you want to get triggered a bit further, look at the Arabs. They were selling slaves long before anybody else was, and still selling them after, strangely enough, because when we decided that it was a bad thing, slavery, and it was a bad thing, obviously, and then we took 40% of our GDP of that year to buy the freedom of all those slaves, but nobody mentions that part either, but it's always worth a punt, you know, because it fucks them off. We only recently paid back that debt. Yes, we borrowed. We borrowed heavily as well. And yeah, it was only paid back, well, it was paid back not that long back within my lifetime. So we did that to free slaves. I didn't see any Arab countries doing that, or any African countries for that matter doing that. Or many other countries thinking about it. But hey, we won't talk about that because it doesn't really fit with your anti-white narrative, does it? And it's amazing when they start punting out figures, how completely wrong they get stuff. And there's meant to be, these people that come out with this rubbish are meant to be specialists at this particular field of bullshit. And yet you think they'd be half about. But no. I mean, I'm a I cover all sorts of topics, so I'm a bit of a jack of all trades, really. No, I don't excel in any one topic at all. But I just, when I see something on the news, I look at it and go, what a load of crap. Let's have a punt at that. So there we go. Anyway, I just thought I'd point out the blatant hypocrisy within media. When you're there, it's out of interest, right? Think of this. Who runs the media? Well, it's a few families. And they run, this was going back 10 years ago, about 250,000 separate media outlets. You'll probably find there's more media outlets now. So, who runs them? What is their problem with old Whitey? And why are they having a punt at us? Because I haven't got the answers to any of this. But I'd love to know. And if you find out, let me know. Because it's one of the things that is obvious now. You look through the films and, you know, when you get sort of Anne Boleyn and she's black, it's like, yeah, that's correct, obviously. You look through all the adverts and it's always a black bloke dating a white woman and yeah, they're all happy together and it's all wonderful. You don't see too many black women being dated by white men. I can't think why. But anyway, whatever. But yeah, it's just one of those that I have noticed and I have to point out the obvious. But there you go. I'm going to crack on with what's going to be one of the hotter days of the year. Tomorrow's going to be even hotter. And I think Monday's going to be cook your food in your pants kind of a day, if you're that way inclined. So yeah, we'll see how I feel later on. I may do a live stream. It depends. It may be just too bloody hot. I don't know. But if I did, it would actually be a pub stream. Because if it is that hot, I think you deserve a drink. Bring an ice cream. Right, anyway, have a good day. Don't get too sunburnt. And I'll see you later.